Hello and welcome to our video, 10 informations you need to know about yesterday. In this video, we'll be covering some of the most important events that took place yesterday, giving you a quick summary of each one. Interest rates could reach 5%. Homeowners are bracing for increased financial strain as forecasts indicate that interest rates may surge to 5% this year. Earlier predictions that interest rates had already peaked are being revised, with markets now anticipating further hikes following the announcement of a 10.1% inflation rate yesterday. Paul Johnson, director of the Institute of Fiscal Studies, expressed his belief that financial markets may be overreacting to core inflation figures, but acknowledged that a 5% increase is not out of the realm of possibility. Meanwhile, Helen Dickinson, chief executive of the British Retail Consortium, remains hopeful that broader inflation will eventually subside. Dozens die in Yemen stampede. Tragedy struck in Yemen's capital, Sunak, as a stampede claimed the lives of at least 85 people. Disturbing videos circulating on social media depict scenes of chaos following the incident in the Bab al-Yemen area of the city, where charity was being distributed for Ramadan. Witnesses recounted to the Associated Press news agency that armed Houthis had fired into the air to disperse the crowd, inadvertently hitting an electrical wire that sparked an explosion and triggered panic among those awaiting assistance. Reportedly, hundreds of people had gathered at a school to receive donations, which amounted to around £9.07 per person, according to Reuters. Crunch time for Raab. The Guardian has reported that senior officials at the Ministry of Justice may consider resigning in protest if Dominic Raab, who faces allegations of bullying, is cleared of wrongdoing. Preparations within the government are said to be intensifying as the long-anticipated report on Raab's alleged bullying behavior is expected to be published soon. BBC's political editor Chris Mason has referred to it as a critical moment for Raab, who could potentially be dismissed from his position, tender his resignation, or remain in office. 5 months ago, the government appointed Adam Talley KC, a senior lawyer, to conduct an independent investigation into the complaints against Raab, which he has denied. Russian spy ships UK. The Daily Telegraph has revealed that Russian ghost ships have been conducting reconnaissance missions near wind farms and critical communication cables off the coast of Britain, with suspicions of plans to sabotage vital infrastructure. GCHQ chiefs have raised concerns about an increase in cyber attacks by Russia-aligned hackers targeting energy facilities, including power stations, with the aim to disrupt or destroy them. European intelligence agencies have reportedly observed a fleet of Russian vessels disguised as fishing trawlers or research ships, but equipped with armed guards. As a result, there are growing calls from conservative members of parliament for increased funding for the armed forces to address these security threats. Police chief accepts Met is racist. In an unprecedented move, the leader of the Police Federation of England and Wales, Steve Hartshorn, has acknowledged that the Metropolitan Police suffers from institutional racism, misogyny, and homophobia. Speaking candidly to The Guardian, Hartshorn acknowledged that his admission may face backlash, but he believed that publicly sharing his views was an act of leadership. He emphasized that policing requires a fundamental shift in mindset. Notably, Hartshorn is the first leader of a major British policing institution to accept the findings of a recent report that highlighted these issues within the Metropolitan Police. Sunak caves in on migrants. The Times has reported that judges may lose their ability to block migrant deportations, as Chancellor Rishi Sunak has reportedly given in to pressure from right-wing Conservative MPs to avoid a potential backlash. The Prime Minister has allegedly agreed to amend the illegal migration bill, granting ministers the authority to ignore interim injunctions from the European Court of Human Rights in deportation cases. In exchange, Conservative rebels have agreed not to propose other amendments that could potentially create divisions within the party, according to the newspaper. U.S. running out of time on China. The top commander of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, Admiral John Aquilino, has issued a warning that the West is running out of time to match China's military power. In an address, Admiral Aquilino highlighted that President Xi Jinping is overseeing an unprecedented military buildup, encompassing both conventional and strategic nuclear capabilities, which is the largest, fastest, and most comprehensive since World War II. He emphasized that while conflict in the region may not be imminent or inevitable, the U.S. and its allies cannot afford to delay action, as they must take immediate steps to preserve a free and open Indo-Pacific. Fox can write off settlement. According to a report, Fox News may be able to claim a tax write-off for its recent settlement related to election fraud claims. The broadcaster and its parent company, Fox Corporation, agreed to pay a historic settlement of $787 million, £633 million, to Dominion, putting an end to a 2-year legal battle over false claims made by the news network about the 2020 election being rigged. However, the lever has reported that a arcane line in the tax code may allow Fox to deduct the settlement payment from its income taxes, as confirmed by a company spokesperson and tax experts. PM, don't judge me on riches. During an appearance on the Sky Kids news show FYI, Rishi Sunak addressed a question from Ruby in Highgate, who asked about his wealth and ability to understand the struggles of families in need. Sunak responded by saying, "The best way to judge people is not by what job they're doing or where they come from, it's about what they're actually doing, and I think you can judge me by my actions." He also encouraged not to judge him solely based on his wealth, indicating that his actions and policies should speak for themselves. Harry Styles boosts tape revival. Sales of cassette tapes, considered a retro format, have experienced a notable rise, with Harry Styles and Arctic Monkeys being credited for the surge, according to The Times. Last year, cassette tape sales reached their highest levels in almost 2 decades, with 195,000 units sold. Among the top sellers were Arctic Monkeys' The Car and Harry Styles' House. Industry insiders suggest that this unexpected revival may be driven by a combination of nostalgia and consumer demand for choice in how they consume music. However, it is worth noting that the commercial significance of cassette tapes remains smaller compared to streaming services such as Spotify, as noted by the same report.